receipt and expenditure of the Joint Hill Solomon City Council for the ensuing financial year 2021-22, which are to be credited to or is to be made from the district fund of this district council, which is referred to as the district council budget, as laid down in Rule 109 of the Assam and Meghalaya Autonomous District Constitution of the Council, Rule 1951, as adopted and amended by this council. Before the House discussed the budget estimate of the ensuing financial year 2021 and 22, I would like to say a few words regarding the journey of the council during this year 2020. The council, along with the entire world, passed through the year 2020, which unprecedented challenge with which we never experienced in our life. The sudden outbreak of the pandemic was due to COVID-19, not only threatened our life and health, but created lots of inconvenience in all spheres of life. Enforcement of total and partial lockdown in the entire country, including our district, was lamented in functioning of the office. The council administration was run as per government order with 30% attendance. Till November 2020, we were 100% attendance is allowed. Survey work of land for issuing land holding certificate quotas have to be put on hold due to the pandemic, as all buildings prohibited the entry of outsiders, including our service land, into their village, respective village, to prevent the spread of the virus. The suspension of trade and commerce within the state and state also affected the revenue function of the council. The implementation of scheme projects under centrally sponsored scheme has to put on hold during the period of lockdown. But immediately after lifting of the lockdown, execution of work was resumed back and run smoothly. I am glad to inform this other house that the construction of additional office building, which we have long expected, has also been started recently, and I hope with the completion of the new additional office building, it will help in serving the congestion in this space. Regarding the function question of the council, it is no secret that the council do not have sufficient funds to pay the salary of its members and employees, including pension of ex-NDCs and pension from retired council employees. The matter of financial instability is taken up seriously by the executive committee. A series of meetings have been held with the state government to reconcile the discrepancy in the outstanding due share of the council. I am happy to inform this House that it was through continuous effort of the executive committee, the state government released our due share of rupees 42 crore, 48 lakhs, 9,158 only, being the share from the mineral. 7 crore, 28 lakh, 52,648 only being the share from minor mineral, and rupees 8 crore, 57 lakh, 70,952 only from tax on motor vehicles. The council, on receiving this due share along with other revenues collected in receipt sale, pay the monthly salary of each members and employees, including pensions, for 8 months from October an amount of rupees 7 crore to Civil Works Department against the temporary loan of rupees 14 crore borrowed during the financial year 1920. The remaining outstanding amount of rupees 7 crore will be refunded as when the fund portion of the council improved. As pointed out in the budget speech 2020-21, the council has decided to have two more new departments, namely Village and Town Administration Department and Fisheries and Agriculture Department. Out of these two departments, the Village and Town Department is created during the year 2020. The Fisheries and Agriculture Department will be created shortly in the first part of the new fiscal year. The Village and Town Administration Department will serve the public in accordance with the relevant law and will improve the revenue of the council in the process. Regarding functioning of judicial department, the executive committee has filled up the vacancy to the post of additional judge. The City Council report and the result of the interview to the post of judge and two proceeding officers have been declared. The appointment to the aforesaid post will be done immediately after obtaining the approval of the governor of Meghalaya. I do hope with the appointment of the new judge and two presiding officers, the administration of the judiciary will function smoothly for the benefit of tribal litigants and will also improve the revenue received of the council. The executive committee is also taking steps to increase the revenue received from the judiciary by pursuing the district council code fees, First Amendment Rule 2019, which is now lying with the state government for obtaining the approval of the governor. Now, coming to the achievement in spite of the lockdown imposed in the country due to the pandemic coupled with financial constraints, the council is able to sail through the difficult time and come up with some important achievements. Number one, task force policy. As promised before the August House, the executive committee had, in the last winter session of the council, placed before the House on the Jaintia Hill Autonomous District Council Forest Policy 2020. With the completion of this forest policy, the executive committee is in the process of framing the Jaintia Hill Autonomous District Forest Act and rule for the purpose of management and control of forests under the jurisdiction of the council in uniformity with the existing scenario in Jaintia Hill. 2. Annual account. During the year 2020-21, the Finance and Account Department have made its best effort to compile the annual account of the year from 2018, and the same was submitted to the Office of the Accountant General, Audit Meghalaya. The annual account of the subsequent years shall be prepared and submitted during the ensuing financial year with a target to come up to date for sure. Number 3, Penal Alphabet. The executive committee will place in its budget session the Jaintia phonetic alphabet, comprising of 25 letters with 17 consonants and 8 vowels. On being approved by this August House, the executive committee will further take a necessary step for implementing the alphabet. Coming to the ensuing financial year for which the budget has been proposed, I am to say that the proposed budget estimate for the ensuing financial year 2020-22 were an estimated receipt of rupees 171 73 crore 50 lakhs 30,000 only as against the estimated expenditure of rupees 186 crore 65 lakh 21,300 only, thus a deficit of rupees 13.15 crore. The various factors attributed to deficit include I. Increasing cost of establishment due to annual increment of pay of employees. And 2. Liabilities of the annual revised pay of 50% of the members and employees, which is not able to clear during the current financial year and carried over as committed liabilities to the coming financial year. 3. Prices escalation on the contingencies expenditure. And 4. Economic instability, which impacts the revenue collection of the council. As people of country said, it is preferable to have a deficit budget than a balanced or surplus budget. For a deficit budget, motivate each other to join hands and work together to overcome the deficit. I also, on behalf of the Supreme Committee, call upon each and every member and employees to join hands and to render our best services to the council to overcome the deficit of our budget. We are all aware that our meagre income being aggravated by the suspension of mining and transportation of coal in a state which has adverse impact on the overall revenue received of the council. However, the Honorable Supreme Court judgment dated 3rd July 2019 gives us hope that the mining of coal in the state may resume back shortly. I also hope that the transportation of 32 lakh metric tons of the extracted coal by the Coal India Limited, as per the aforesaid Supreme Court judgment, will soon be affected and the painful financial efficiency of the council will then be alleviated to such a extent. Coming to the expenditure, it may be mentioned that the strength of cost in the ensuing financial year has been reduced to 1,420 from 1,450, as shown in the current budget. In order to control and minimize fresh appointment and alleviate the financial crisis of the council, the House had passed a resolution to do away with all extraordinary grade 3 and 4 posts for which vacancies are caused by the retirement and death of council employees. Further, to minimize the expenditure, the Executive Committee has to do away with the post of planning advisor, officer of special duty, co-chairman planning board, account officer duty. Regarding the post of principal secretary, the Executive Committee has changed the designation to the special advisor. To speed up the process of bill processing in civil work department, the Executive Committee has created the post of accountant with a pay scale equivalent to HA assistant. With regard to the development on the construction of Yam Steel Market, the Steel Committee has taken up the matter with the state government, and we expect that the government will resume back the remaining construction work of redevelopment of Yam Steel Market very shortly. As far as developmental activities is concerned, I am happy to authorize this above House that the Government of India, through 15th Finance Commission, released us an untapped grant of rupees 6 crore 82 lakh 50,000 and implementation of all schemes projects under this head will be taken up shortly. It may be mentioned here that in the ensuing financial year 2020-21, a budget provision for implementation of centrally sponsored grant has been given in other departments too, and by doing so, I hope the burden of civil work department will be relieved to some extent, and implementation of the scheme will be completed well in time. Lastly, I would like to inform this House that this will be the last year we prepare a budget in this manner. As per order received from the government of Nakalia and Office of the Accountant General Account Nakalia's law, based on the recommendation of the Controller and Auditor General, Government of India, that from 2022 or 23 onward, the budget will be prepared using the list of major and minor heads for both receipt and expenditure. In conclusion, I am to say that the Executive Committee shall always endeavor to maintain a close and cordial relationship with the government in all spheres of its activities in order to ensure smooth and efficient administration. I am sure your deliberation and valuable suggestion will be for the best interest of the District Council and the people of Daintree Hill. The proposed budget estimate for the ensuing financial year 2021-22 is now placed for deliberation of the House.